Hello, darlings. Hope you had a wonderful spring break. Today is time to get back into things. And so that means you need to learn a little bit about your final project for Ghost. So we're going to go through some of that today. Make sure that you understand what you're doing, and you are going to work on it for the rest of this week and then into next week. And it'll be due Tuesday, the 13th, at the beginning of class. So that way we can do our final gallery walk with it, where you get to look at everybody else's projects. Then, once we are done with that, we are moving into our big project that I've been talking to you about all year long, where you will have to incorporate some of your social studies knowledge, science knowledge, math knowledge, and of course, lots of language arts knowledge. So stay tuned. We'll talk more about that after our ghost project. So let's go ahead and look at our final ghost project. You click on the same directions, the way project gallery walk directions, same project. We just have done 2/3 of it so far. We have created our project, which was our gallery walk. We've looked at those gallery walk projects, and now it's time for your final project. So stay with me. Let's go. So for your final project, you're going to want to think about the theme that you came up with. You should have done this before break. And then you also want to think about all the different projects that you looked at before break during the gathering info part. And then using the theme and the information from the projects, you will need to come up with a symbol to represent how one character from Ghost has shown adversity and perseverance. Remember, we have been in this grit unit for a while now. And so to kind of wrap some of that up, we need to focus on grit as it was used in Ghost. So you need to come up with one character. So start by choosing one character. I would pick a main one where they have shown adversity and perseverance. Some students, of course, are going to choose Castle. That would make sense. But you could also choose his mom. You could choose Mr. Charles. I mean, there's definitely a lot of options here. I would not choose his dad. Somebody had asked me if they could choose the dad. Well, the dad hasn't shown perseverance. And he's definitely shown some adversity. There's been adversity in his life, but really not the perseverance part. So I would not choose his dad. So first start with choosing the character from Ghost who you feel you can talk about has shown adversity and perseverance. You'll need a symbol then that would represent that person. Hopefully you're still with me. Let's keep going. So for this final project, your goal is to use specific examples from any of the group projects, including your own, to explain how that symbol you chose represents adversity and perseverance that character endured throughout the novel. So, put it simply, you picked a character who showed adversity and perseverance. You chose a symbol to represent that character. Then you need to be able to use specific examples from all of the projects that you looked at to be able to show and explain why that is a good symbol to represent that character showing adversity and perseverance. So now let's get then into more of the specific details that your project needs to include. Your project needs to include a creative presentation of the requirements. Here are some ideas. You could, depending on with technology, how good you are, if you want, you can create an online game. Or if you're an in-person student, you can create a board game. With that board game, then you would have to include questions that would go along with your explanation, or get the people playing your game to be able to explain the significance of that symbol. So you would kind of need to lead them through the path of thinking to get them to understand why that symbol was used. So we're looking at more abstract type thinking here. It's not going to be as super easy as, here, let me just give you the answer to this information. You need to come up with a way to represent it. Okay, next, another idea. You could make a 3D version of the symbol you chose and incorporate the requirements onto it. So if you choose to, make this 3D version of the symbol, you've got the symbol that you chose that represents the person or the character who showed adversity or perseverance in the face of adversity. Then somehow you could put all of the information onto that 3D model of it. Something to think about. It might be an easy option for you, those of you looking for something a little bit more straightforward. Next one, you could do a podcast or a talk show. I know you're probably not going to want to do this one, but I thought this would be kind of cool because really what we're trying to do is showcase this character who has gone through a difficult time but has decided to push forward. That is a great opportunity for people to want to interview them or want to talk to them. If you think about news, or you think about talk shows, or you think about stories that are highlighted on even your Instagram feeds, a lot of them tend to be people who have overcome something difficult. So I was thinking it might be kind of cool for you to do a podcast where you interview this character, and you can ask questions to a character, and then that character can respond. So you could do some role playing there, where maybe you're the host of the podcast and somebody else can be the character, or vice versa, and you can answer the questions to be able to kind of explain then that symbol that would go along with that character. Also, another one that you could try is a Pear Deck presentation. This one does take some working with technology and being able to kind of figure out how Pear Deck works. Some kids have had success with it and some kids have not. So if you do choose that, definitely you can reach out to me for some questions, but there are some other teachers who are a little bit more familiar with it than I am. Or if you don't feel like putting in the mental energy to figure out a different technology platform, I don't blame you. Just pick something else, okay? I just want you to get away from slides. Slides we've used 1,000 times just because they're easy, but I'd like for you to kind of think out of the box here a little bit, because we are showcasing this character. And so when you're showcasing a character, slideshows don't really do it justice. Okay. So that's the creative way of being able to present it. Here's what you need to include in the way you present it. So the theme of the novel, you should have already done this. Include the name of the character who showed adversity and perseverance. Again, be cautious with who you choose. I would choose one you feel like you could talk about a lot. A visual symbol to represent the character's adversity and perseverance that needs to be able to go with who you chose, and you need to be able to explain it. That's the focus of this project. You need an explanation of the symbol you chose to represent that character. This is not something that should be done in one sentence. This is going to be part of the lengthier part of this project, which is why I'm giving you several days to work on this project. Not only for you to construct the project, but for you to have quality written explanations. And so that one is going to be one where you're going to want to spend a little bit of time. Okay. Next, you need to have an example of how this person showed adversity and perseverance from part 1. So you have this symbol, then you have to be able to explain how that person showed it. If you're going to say that they showed it and you've chosen the symbol to represent it, then you need to be able to explain how they showed that adversity and perseverance, which then connects to that symbol. Okay, that goes together. Again, that's a significant part of this project. That's why I'm giving you lots of time to complete this. Okay, that goes right along with what this next bullet point is, an explanation of how this example demonstrates adversity and perseverance to show the theme. Okay. Next, an example of how they showed adversity and perseverance from part 2. And then an explanation of how this example demonstrates adversity and perseverance to show the theme. So again, lots of explanation in these several bullet points here. Last one, an example of how they showed adversity and perseverance from part 3. An example of how this example demonstrates, or an explanation of how this example demonstrates adversity and perseverance to show the theme. All of that is what needs to be included in your creative presentation of this showcase of this character. Okay? Again, try to be creative in the way that you present this character to other people. Hey, there's this character. They've shown adversity and perseverance. Here's a symbol that represents it. Here's some examples from each part of the novel. And here's how that shows you the theme and shows that they are, they can persevere. Okay. When you are done with that, we will do another gallery walk. That's why this is the gallery walk project. And these are the directions that go with it, because you're doing one more. This time you are going to just look at people's projects. You are not really going to do much with it. You're just going to look at their projects. And then if you get some more ideas from other people and want to edit your project, I'll see if I can provide you a little bit of time to do that. But for the most part, you're just going to look at people's projects, give some feedback, and then we're done. Okay, and then we'll be officially done with Ghost. I sure hope that this video helps you. Of course, you know you can email me, GoGuardian chat me, join our Google Meets, whatever you need to ask me questions. I am here to support you, and I hope you know that. As always, as I've tried to show you all year long, we are in the final stretch, so go ahead and give this project and our last big project all of the effort that you can. One thing that I've learned in life is it's not always how you start, but it is certainly how you finish. And so we need to make sure that we finish this year strong and on a good note, if for no other reason than it makes us feel good and proud to be who we are. So let's finish strong. And I'm here for you. Let me know what more I can do to support you. And I will look forward to seeing your final projects for Ghost due on Tuesday, April 13th at the beginning of class. We'll talk soon. See ya.